So let us start our discussion for the today's class. In this class, we would be talking about a very standard algorithm called Huffman algorithm. So you know that there are various method for coding. For example, if you have a document, okay, assume that you have a document, and what could be that document? That there could be various character sets. For example, hello friend, how are you? Okay, I am fine. Hope to see you soon. So this is the letter that I have written to my friend Kamlesh. So how can I send it to my friend? So and you need, because it's a computer, you have to find out a right code for this, and you know that one such code is ASCII code. Okay, where 8-bit is used to encode all these things. Okay, so how many bits are there? I'm not sure about this. So let's assume that there are this file is of 100 bytes. Okay, means this I have written the mail. I have written this message using 100 characters. Okay, so all these 100 characters are different. No, because I'm using ABCD only, na. So ABCD A to Z. Ultimately, there are only 26 such things. So am I using 1 2 3 4? No. So what are the character I'm using? So H using I'm using H E L, and then O, then space, blank space is also there. Na? Here is blank space. Then F, then R, I, E, and D. Because E has already come. So lot of computation is needed here. So would you be spare me if I say that I'm using A B C D E F only? Okay, let's assume that whatever message I have written is written by using A B C D E F only. Okay, let's assume that only these characters are there. So I would call that this is my character set in which I'm going to use this. Okay, so as any single character is going to be used if I'm going to use ASCII 8-bit. So how many characters I have? 100 characters. So 800 character would be needed. Make sense? Is it good? Yes or no? I would need 800 characters. But let's assume I find out a frequency analysis C, D, E, and F, and I find out that looks like that A is used say 80 times, B is used 10 times, this is used 2 times, and how many is remaining? 80, 90. And let's assume that it is 3. Then it is also 4, and F is 1. Let's assume that this is what the frequency of these items. Okay, A is written 80 times in my document, in my email. Let's assume that this is what the frequency is. And I say that I would, instead of using this ASCII code, I would use a different code where 0 would be for A. Okay, B would be with the 1, C would be with the 0 0, D would be 0 1, E would be 1 0, F would be 1 1. So let's assume that I'm going to give it some code. So if I'm going to use this thing, so how much bits are needed here? How many bits are needed over here to send my message? Okay, can you tell me that how many bits are needed? Because 80 multiplied by 1, 80 bits. B is 10, so 10 bits. So this 2 bits are required for C and 2 are them the 4. D is 3 multiplied by 2. Why 2? Because 2 bits are there. Na? 0, 1 is 2 bits only. So 6. 4 multiplied by 2, 8 and 2. So you can find out that this summation, and this summation is lot lower than the 800. Why we are able to do this? Why we are able to do that? Because we have written the code in such a way so that only the code for these characters are needed, not for the all the characters. Some characters I'm not using in my thing. So this is a interesting idea that says that if you have some data, you can construct a code for it. Okay, a special code for it so that it requires lesser space. Whether this idea is fine, everybody? Do you have any questions? Whether this idea is fine, that if you have to code something, find out a suitable code for that thing. Don't use a something that is very general. And however, those things have other meanings also, but in some domain it is possible that you can use this specialized code, and those specialized code are going to be very much effective. So we will be again coming to this particular point once again. So I just wanted to tell you that what is the Huffman code? Huffman code was invented. Huffman has invented a greedy algorithm that constructs an optimal prefix code. So he have suggested that how to construct an optimal size. What is optimal size means what? Instead of using for ABCD for this 0, I can use the 0 1 also. So whether that code is better means which particular coding scheme minimizes the bit requirement. So that is my optimal code. So he is going to give me something that is going to be optimal, and the code that we are going to use is called the prefix code. Okay, prefix code, and Hoffman has given this algorithm, so we are going to say that it is a Hoffman's code. Okay, so let us see something. Very important thing is that it is a variable length code, means for each of the character that we have, the code is going to be of the different length. Okay, it is useful for lossless data compression. So what is the data compression means? Ultimately you want to encode the things, so the data that I had actually is now going to take lesser space, because I have find out a new coding, so it is going to have the lesser space. So it is a kind of data compression. You can say that it is a kind of data compression. It is lossless means whatever written over here, I have converted like this, and then if I reconvert it and expand it, I can get the same thing. So it is a lossless. Okay, there is no loss. So again, once again, the same example that we are discussing is again coming to you. Consider, for example, a data file, okay, that contains how many character? 100,000 character. Let's assume that very big file. Okay, okay, means looks like that it's a big document where 100,000 characters are written. And we are assuming that the characters are only A, B, C, D, E, and F. Okay, how many characters we have? 6 characters. Only using these 6 characters, this particular document has been written. There is a question: how does the receiver knows what the code we have used? All right, very good question. So that we are not discussing right now, but let's assume that in your database you are also embedding small table. Okay, then you are sending. So this would be your protocol. So earlier, what was thinking that on the complete earlier you have to, okay, what is this? Earlier you have to send the complete file. Now instead, what you have to send? You have to send a small file. Along with, you can send a small table also. And overall, this is going to be a small set. Make sense? Okay. All right. So, however, right now, is it fine, everybody? Is it okay that I am using A, B, C, D, E, F, and let's assume that the frequency of A is 45, frequency of B is 30K in thousand. It is written in thousand. Okay, 12,000 C, 16,000 D, 9,000 T, and 5,000 K. Okay, fixed length code. If you want to use the fixed length code, so you have to give some numbers such that, for example, for A 000, B 001, C 010, 1011, 100, 00. This is the only way to do it. Okay, if you want to write the code, ASCII would take 8-bit, but let's assume that you have developed a small code and you are telling that I'm going to use this thing. For all the items, the length of the code is fixed. So so this is what it is. So 1,000 number of characters are there. So 300K number of bits is required. Okay. So Hoffman says that the same thing you can encode. So how to do that, we will talk later. But Hoffman says that you can encode the same thing using saying that A is, let me use 0 for A, 101 for B, 100 for C, 111 for D, and now you can see the 4 length also. 1101 for E and 1100 for F. Let me use this thing. Okay, so how many bits are required? Can you tell me? So it is 45 plus 13 into 3. Okay, so how many bits is required? So I can write it like B of this particular representation, and this T represent means this code. number of bit required is the summation of for all the characters which are there into the my character set, big set. So what it is that for a character dot frequency, I would multiply that what is the length, what is the size of this particular code for the C. Okay, everybody understand? So let me explain it more. So how C is going to come from what? A, B, C, D, E, and F. So for each of them, I would try to find out what is the frequency, and you know the frequency is 45 and 13 and 12 and 16 and 9 and 5. It is going to multiply it by with the depth star of, actually it says that what is the length of that particular code in the particular tree, because tree actually specifies that what is the code. Okay, tree specifies the code. For using this tree, what is the size of code? So for 45 it is 1, so 45 multiplied by 1. For B it is 3. For C it is again 3. And for D it is 3. For E it is 4. For F it is 4. So you find out this, what is the summation of this number. So you can see that the fixed length code is going to take 300k, and this new computation that we have done is going to take 224k of bits. So it is going to reduce your space, means 25% compression you can find out. So till now we have not talked about that what is the technique. Till now we have only talked about that what is that it is going to use something that is a compression. It is going to do the compression, lossless compression. That is a very interesting idea. So any questions on that? Can you say yes or no? No? Any questions? Okay, then you would be excited to know that, sir, what is this method? How to find out the right code for me? Okay, how to find out the right code? Okay, so this is the algorithm, and don't see this algorithm. Let me tell you that what this algorithm is. The algorithm says that you have a set C. Okay, here few items are there. For example, A, B, C, D, E, and F. Let's assume these items are there. Their frequencies are there: 45, 13, 12, 45, 13, 12, 16, 9, 16, 9, and 5. So the algorithm says that find out who are the weakest person, who are the two smallest number. I can see that this 9 and 5 are the smallest number. Okay, it says that what is the size of this C? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 size. It says that create something of the size, smaller size, where you put A, B, C, D, and instead of EF you create, say, new one. Okay, and it actually says that I'm going to create new character as Z. Okay, okay, what is the frequency of these things? Frequency of A is 45, B is 13, C is 12, D is 16. Frequency of Z is actually containing all both the things inside. So it contains 9 plus 5, how much? 14. So this is what I have created. Okay, the algorithm says this, that you reduce the thing, and it is an iterative algorithm. So it again says find out who are the minimum. I say that this 12, 13 and 12 are minimum. It says okay, include, remove them. Put A is 45, and instead of BC you put, say, Z1. Okay, and 13 plus 12 is how much? 25, and D is 16, and Z is 14. Are you okay? C double dash, it is contained, it was 5, it was 4. Okay, all right. So I have to go ahead in this way. So I would create another thing, C triple dash. I think C, it was C dash. Okay, C triple dash. C triple dash is equal to, again here you find out who are the two minimum one. Can you tell me? 25, 47, I think 16 and 14 are the minimum one. So D and Z you can again combine. You can combine these two and say Z2, A45, and Z1 25, Z2 is 16, and how much it is? 30. Okay. Then it says that again you have to do the same thing. So the 4 becomes how many items? Now we have 3 items. Then you can says that C4 is equal to, again find out who are the two minimum ones. So 25 and 30. So you write A 45 and Z1 to Z3 is equal to, what is the summation? It is 55. Two items are there. C5. Okay, now only one items I have. Here I would be putting Z4. Okay, Z4, and the summation is going to be, I think, how much it is? 100. Okay, all right. So first I'm going to do this, then it is telling, everybody's okay with that? There is a question. So there is a question about the algorithm. So if you don't understand, that's not important. You would go to the algorithm and once again see the algorithm. Okay, just follow the procedure that I'm going to do. Okay, if you follow the procedure, I'm happy. Okay, I would take all those things later, and I would tell you that how to do that. Okay, so till now everybody is okay. That how I was actually reducing from 6. I went to 6. Yes, I'm not seeing. Yes. Okay. Ah. Okay. Now I wanted to tell you that you start from here, from this C5. When you have only one item, you create a node. Everybody can see this node. In this node there is Z4. I can write Z4. Okay, let me remove it. So now it is a very important procedure. Okay, I write Z4. Okay, then I delete it. I go back and expand in this way because Z4 was going to have A and going to have Z3. Okay, then I would delete this. Z3 is going to be the summation of Z3 is going to be Z1 and what? Z2. Okay, then I would delete this. Then I would come here. I would say that can you help me to find out because I frequently miss these things. D and Z. I think Z2 is D and Z. Okay, this now I can remove this thing. Then before this 25 becomes Z1 becomes from this, so it becomes B and C. Okay, B and C. Then it becomes, there is a Z. This Z is expanded to E and F. So let me clear all these things. This Z. Okay, Z is in E and F. So this Z becomes E and F. Okay. So this is the tree that actually I have constructed by this algorithm. So whether the tree construction is clear, can you write yes? Can you write yes? Tree construction is clear. Everybody is okay with this tree construction. Okay, very good. So you are brilliant students. Okay, so let me take this tree here. Okay, I don't have less space. Okay, okay. All right. So let me not put this dot here. Okay. So now you can start doing with me one thing, that from here you start write 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1. Okay, is it also clear? This 0 1 is also clear? Yes. Who is happy with this 0 1? Yeah. So what is the code for A? Code for A. So you start from beginning and come to the A, you get 0. What is the code for B? What is the code for B? You code for B is going to be, you start from here and reach to the B. What is that? 1 0 0. Is it fine? Shivam, is it fine? Yes. Okay. So what is the code for C? So you come here. Code for C is 1 0 1. What is the code for D? You would write. I would not write. Give me the code for D. What is the code for D? Please type 1 1 0. What is the code for E? Code for E is 1 1 1 0. Code for F is equal to 1 1 1 1. So this is what the procedure for finding out the code using Huffman algorithm. So so let us Now, if you are okay with this, then I would go and I would again now I would go and see the algorithm. So what should the algorithm say? First, it should create a set. Okay, it should create a set where all the items from the C is taken. Okay, so this is the line. This is a set where all the items are placed. And then one by one, for 1 to length of C minus 1 means how many times I'm going to length of C, how many items are there. C contains all the items. No? C is 6. If I find out the length of C means how many items are there, so we have, it is 6 in our case, because A, B, C, D, E, F are 6. So because 5 times I want to do, so that only one item remains. What I have to do, I have to create a new node, allocate a new node, and I have to find out two minimum item. Who is the minimum, and then who is the minimum. Extract minimum. Achha, extract minimum, what it says that if you have a set, for example, Q is a set that contains A, B, C, D, E, F, and let's assume they have 2, 10, 19, 16, 5, and 8. If I say extract minimum means what? It is going to delete that item which has the minimum value. Extract minimum is going to delete that, and it is going to tell me that which is the item which has the minimum value, and I am going to tell that I have, since I have created a new node, so into the left side I am going to put that particular node. This line is clear to everybody? This line is clear to everybody? Okay, this line to extract minimum means I am finding out the minimum item from this particular set, and I am going to, I have created a new node. In that node, in the left side, I am attaching it. Is it clear? This part is clear? This allocation of new node means dangling node is created. Okay, a dangling node is created, a new node is created, and I'm going to allocate X over there. So one item now from this set, one item has gone which has the minimum value. If I call this again the extract minimum, it is the second minimum item. Yes, Utkarsh, it is the second minimum item. Utkarsh Kumar, yeah, it is the second minimum item. So second minimum item I'm going to put into the right. From the Z right side, I'm going to set Z. Okay. And then what is the frequency of this item? This Z dot frequency is equal to the summation of X and Y. So I'm saying this is a summation of frequency of X and Y. And this is a new node I'm going to put into this queue. So in the queue, two items are removed and then one new item is being added. Okay, so this is the same thing we were doing earlier. Okay, same thing we were doing. Every time we are going to create a new node, and this is what the new node creation is. Okay, and then we have inserted there. So how many times I am going to do this? N minus 1 time. After that, what would happen? Only one thing would remain. Okay, then it is again telling that extract min of Q means that item is also being removed, and now nothing is inside this, and that is a return, means I am going to return that particular item. So if that particular item, last item, is being returned, what does it mean? It has complete tree structure, na? Because every time I'm going to, whenever I'm going to remove something, sometime after some time when I would be removing something, that would be an item. So I am ultimately going to give you the tree structure. Any question on that? Everybody understand that I'm going to create the tree structure. This last answer is going to give you the tree structure. Let me say yes. Okay. So this is the algorithm, very simple algorithm. So we have also done the example, and we have also find out the right thing. So I think one more example I have here. So let us go and try to see this. I think it is the same thing. Oh my God. So would you like to go with the new example or the same way? So I think it is not going to be much effective. Just see that all the values are there. They are into the queue. Then I would find out extract minimum of extract minimum is going to delete F and E, and then it is going to attach into the new dangling node, and it is going to be inserted into the queue. Make sense? Then again, I would be deleting the minimum one. Who is going to be deleted? This C is going to be deleted, and then this B is going to be deleted, C and B, and they are going to be attached to something, and it is a new node. Then again I would be deleting something. What is the minimum? I think 14 and 16 are the minimum. So this node, this node, and they are attached to something, and you can see that this is what the structure I have. Okay, so from after this again I would remove two smallest one, 25, 30 and 45, so they are removed. So new thing would be created, and they are linked into this way. So you can see that this is what I have. Now they are connected, and now in this way the tree is constructed that we have recently seen. So this is how tree is constructed, and then we write 0 1 0 1 0 1 1 0. That is not different, and after that we can find out what is the code. Any question on that? Okay, so I hope that the algorithm should be clear to you. Now I want to discuss with you what is the time complexity, how much time this algorithm is going to take. Okay, okay. So this algorithm is actually length of this n times. So this if C contains n number of item, so the because of this for loop something is multiplied by n is going to happen. And what is here? What is here? What is something that what you are going to do? How much time this particular portion is going to take? Okay. So this statement is not that problematic because it takes only constant time, one time. Okay, it will take only constant time, one time. What about these statement? This is again a constant one time operation, one plus. What is the time taken by this instruction? Again, it is 2 multiplied by the time taken by this single instruction. So till now everybody is okay. Say yes. Say yes. Okay. So let us analyze into this particular way that the time that we have taken, we have find out that it is going to be n. It is going to be n multiplied by the quantity that there is some constant plus 2 multiplied by the time taken by this extract min. Okay, we have to find out that what is the time taken by the extract min. So q, what is the q? Q is an array. Okay, and if I say that find out the minimum item for me and delete that, how much time it is going to take? Are you okay? Yes. Nobody is writing yes. Nobody is happy. Okay, because if you assume that how many items are there into q, n items are there. So how much time it is needed to find out the minimum item and delete that? Order of n time. Okay, can you do it better? Hmm? In the array finding out the item, is it possible that you can do it better? Yes. Okay, how? Binary search. Okay, so here since the items are stored, so and they are kind of they are structures, so you can say that I would create a kind of heap that is maybe a priority heap where the ordering is always there. So then it would be a better algorithm, and this time actually you can reduce. And how much it would be now? Order of n, order of log n. Okay, into the log n time you can perform the operation. Any question on that? Akshat, any question on that? You can perform into the, because ultimately you can think that if the things are sorted and we have some methods, so extract minimum operation can be deployed into the order of log n time. Make sense? Okay, Rajat? Yes? Okay. So it's here into this expression, it is log n. So this particular expression is going to be constant, is not going to have any effect. So it is going to take order of n log n time. Okay, everybody is happy with me that it is going to take order of log n time. Hmm? Now I want to ask a question that if I give you that this is the frequency of the items, can you give me the Huffman code for that? If I give you C, can you give me the Huffman code? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Siddharth is asking that wouldn't the insertion also need to have the order of log n time? I agree with you that it would also take log n time. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for correcting me, because this insertion time would be also be taken order of log n time. But initially when I discussed with you, I was talking in that particular term that when it is an array. So if you have an array and you know that how many items are there, then immediately you can insert the item at the at the last. So in that scenario, it would take order of one time, but you are all right, because when we have improved this from the order, then this searching operation was going to take order of n time. In that scenario, it is going to be order of one time. But when you want to put the things into the increasing order, then this operation would also, because this item need to be put at the right place, it would also take order of log n time. Okay, so there is question: for heapifying C, should we not consider time taken? So as heapifying is going to take log n time only. So in terms of the n log n time, it is going to take, in terms of the n log n thing, it is going to be absorbed in that particular thing. Yogya? So that's an interesting thing. So to discuss, and there are some small details that hope you can by yourself can work out and finish. So this is all the important part, okay? So that it takes order of n log n time. Any more questions? No questions? Okay. All right, very good. So my question was this: if I give you C, can you give me the Huffman code? All of you said that yes, I can give you. Okay. So this is most of the time it is like that. And if I say that I give you that a file, can you give me that how much compression can be achieved by the Huffman code? Again, you can find out that what is the optimal. What if the fixed number of bits are there? Then how many bits are needed? And then you can solve and tell me that what is the compressor that you are going to achieve. Now we are quickly going to talk about the optimality and correctness. Optimality and correctness, okay, of this particular algorithm. So optimality actually basically it gives you the right code, means because you want to be optimal, you want to give the code that takes a lesser amount of space. Okay, how can you prove that the things are going to be optimal? So we should we go to that thing, or do you have any question? If you have any questions, we can discuss. Otherwise, I would go to that particular part for the optimality. Okay. What is the data structure for queue? Set or heap or forest? It is going to be heap. Okay. For the queue, I am telling that extract min, you can maintain the heap. I think instead of heap, you should say that priority queue. Priority queue. Because you want to find out the minimum item. So priority queue may be a better thing. Even there are other efficient data structure available that can give you, that can solve this problem into log n time. Okay, so we are not going to focus on that. Try to understand, try to find out that what is the best you can do over here. So right now it is not our focus. Okay, sometime we'll be discussing this when this heap, then at that time we would discuss. Right now, otherwise our discussion would go derailed. So hope you understand this, that on the array it takes order of n time. Log n time is needed when you maintain the priority queue. There are other event data structure that can take order of log n time. Hope this is clear. Okay. Let us talk about the optimality. Hmm? So this is a very important line. Everybody please read. There exists optimal prefix code. There exists optimal prefix code with two lowest frequency characters having the same length code word, differing only in the last bit. What do you mean by this? So let's assume that this tree, and now you understand that the tree means what? Code. Tree means the Huffman code. Okay. Let's assume that you give me this code, and this is not the Huffman code. Let's assume that you come up with some other method. You come up that you are telling me that, sir, this is also a good for the given whatever C I have given for that. This is also a good code. Okay, it is also an optimal code. Let's assume that you come up with some of the code. Okay. Let's assume that you come up with some of the code like this, where who are the two minimum one? Let's assume in this particular C, if you find out all the items, the two minimum one are X and Y. Who are the items having the minimum frequency is X and Y. And the code that you come up with, there X and Y are somewhere in between. It is possible that you can come up with that. Okay. Whether this part is clear? That you have come up with some kind of coding, means the tree, where X and Y, which has the minimum value, is not at the longest, okay, deepest leaf. They are not at the deepest leaf. Is it clear, everybody? So people have the problem that what would happen in the same priority queue. So we would come back to again. Please focus on this. Are you okay with this? So this proof is a very simple proof, but if you lose track, then it will be difficult to understand. So that's why I want your full concentration on this particular slide. Okay, let me start once again. Don't ask any questions. Whatever I'm telling, just respond to that only. Okay, new question we would take at the end. Okay, ready? Say yes. I'm going to start once again. So I have a set C of characters where lot of characters are there. Two characters are also there, X and Y. And what is the specific by them? That they have the minimum frequency. If I find out that what is X dot F, I find out what is the Y dot F, their frequency is minimum in this particular set. Okay. Yes, Adu. Okay. Yeah. Next thing, that you come up with a tree and you are telling, sir, this is an optimal tree I have come up with. Okay, you are telling, sir, I came up with the optimal tree where this X and Y are not at as a deepest leaf. They are not at the deepest leaf. Okay, you come up with me. Make sense? This problem setting is fine, that you are telling me that this is the deepest one. So, and out of these X1 and X2, let's assume that X dot frequency is less than Y dot F. Anyway, this is also not going to matter. Let's assume that in this tree, when you come up with this tree to me, A and B are at the deepest. They are at the deepest leaf. They are at the deepest leaf. Make sense? Now I am going to do one thing. I am going to replace X with A. Everybody is okay? I am going to put X here and A here. I have done this change. Everybody is okay with this, what I have done? Okay. Just say that yes, you understand that what I have done. So this was your optimal one. Okay, this was your optimal one, but I have changed something. Okay, this is I would say that exchange I have done. So now let us compute that how much what is the number of bits required in T, and what is the bits required in T, and what is the bits required in T dash. How many bits are required for T dash? Bits required for T minus bits required for T dash. I'm going to find out this quantity. So bits required for T is the, for all the C's which are here, you find out what is their frequency and multiply with the what is the length of their code. This is okay? Is this okay? Yes. So this is, you find out. And into the same way for the second tree also, where here the tree is changed because into this now the tree is T dash. This is the second tree. Okay. So if I expand this thing, so you know that this particular summation, because there is a minus sign over here, the places where this this look, what is going to happen, CF is not going to change. CF is going to remain the here and here same, because they have the same frequency. Database, the document I'm not going to change, but this is only the thing that is going to change. Okay, what is the length of the code? It is going to change. So for all other items which are not either X and V, for example B also, for alternate B also, multiplication of CF and DF here and here would be same? Yes or no? For this Y also, this is going to be the same, yes or no? Yes? Yes? So because of this summation, many other term would get cancelled. Many other term would get cancelled. Yes or no? Say yes. Keep typing yes. Okay. So many other terms would get cancelled. So which term would remain? Only these two terms which I have explained. So what were their earlier value and what is the new value? This is the difference that would be given to me. Earlier value are that CF multiplied by dt of x, AF multiplied by dt of A minus of this x dot f multiplied by dt dash of A, dt dash of A. So this particular second line is clear to everybody. So what I wanted to tell, that this tree that you are going to come have may have many things, but I have not changed anything. Two things I have only changed. See what was the earlier value. Earlier value was that in this tree, what is the in this tree, what was the code length of this particular thing and what is the frequency. In this tree, what was the code length for A and what was the frequency of A. Similarly, onto the new tree, what is the code length of x multiplied by what is the frequency of x. Into the new tree, what is the code length of A multiplied by frequency of f. Everybody is okay? Yes? Okay. So, okay, thank you. So, acha, if you try to understand, since I have done an exchange, what is the length of dt dash t dash in this tree, t dash in this tree, what is the dt x for the x, what is the code length? It is the same as what was the length where A was, because he is at the place of A. So this value is dt of A, because I have placed, I have replaced the item, na? I have exchanged the item. So this is the length of, what is the code length of x? It is the code length of A. What was the earlier? Yes? Very right, yes. Okay. Similarly, what is the code length of this A? It is a code of x earlier. So I can change this. I can say that in the previous term, what is the dt of x, what is the dt of A. So this was a small modification that I have done. Okay. So everybody, if everybody is okay with me, then I can say that dt of A and dt of A is here. So this term AF minus this term means I can say that A dot F minus X dot F into dt of A. Okay. Similarly, for the remaining term, this term and this term is same. So I can take dt of x out. What is inside? X dot F minus A dot F. Okay, X dot F, A dot F, X dot F. So if I say, I can take it again. I can take this term common. I can say that A dot F minus X dot F into dt of A minus dt of X. So this is fine. Is this fine? Can I write like this? Can I write this like this? Yes. Say yes. Yeah. Great. So if you understand, then I am very happy to tell you this, that in this particular tree, the code length of A is larger as compared to X. So dt of A minus dt of X is actually positive. This particular term is positive. This complete term is positive. Similarly, a frequency of, I have told that the item with the minimum frequency was X. So A dot F minus X dot F is also positive. Okay, so both the terms are actually positive. So this term is actually greater than 0, because for two terms where this multiplication is written, both are those terms are positive. So therefore, this is greater than 0. Okay, so this is greater than 0. So what does it mean? It means that this quantity is greater than 0. This quantity is greater than 0 means the code length of, what does it mean? That number of bits required in T is actually greater than as compared to the number of bits required to here. So which is optimal? Optimal would have the lesser number of bits. Who is optimal? Optimal is this. So you came up with this optimal. No, no, this is not optimal. I can just exchange these two things and it would become optimal. Make sense? Say yes or no. Yes. Okay. So I have exchanged only this particular x to with the a. So I can similarly I can exchange this y with this particular b and further make it more optimal. What does it mean? Now everybody is okay with this. Everybody is okay with me this. Okay. Now I want to make a statement. Everybody would be very easily able to understand this. That if there is an optimal tree, if you construct, then in that optimal tree the two minimum item would be at the deepest would be at the deepest leaf. Makes sense? Two minimum item would be at the deepest leaf, because if they are not, I can exchange them and make further reduce into the number of bit requirement. So if the code is optimal, so I cannot reduce number of bits, so it means that they are going to be at the bottom only. Make sense? Okay, makes sense. So in the optimal tree, a and b items with the minimum frequency are at the bottom. Okay, now let us go to the proof. Okay, optimal this was the greedy choice property, that whenever this was the greedy choice property that whenever we want to select the item, pick the item which have the minimum frequency, put the item with the minimum frequency at the bottom. And now let me give you the correct optimal substructure. Means how can I create the problem with a smaller size, and that is also have the same kind of property as the bigger problem has. So let me prove this. So the proof is this. Let's assume that the set has n plus 1 item. Let me assume that the C has n plus 1 item. We should assume that we are going to prove this using induction, and into the proof with the induction we assume that the things are okay with when the size is n, and we are going to prove this when the size becomes n plus 1. We are going to prove that actually the things if this is true, then this is also true. Make sense? Okay, so how I am going to show that? I am going to use the induction. Here I need your full concentration, and things are very simple. Let me tell you, but just give me the your full concentration. What I wanted to tell you, that C has, let's assume that C has n plus 1 item. I can make C dash that have n item. How come? I would pick the two smallest item from this, which are x and y, two smallest item, and instead of them I make a new item z. How come? That z dot frequency is equal to x dot frequency plus y dot frequency, and I would make this item, I would insert into this particular set. What do I mean by this? That, see this line, I am going to make C dash as C minus xy, two item deleted and one item added, where Z has this particular property. Okay, so what I'm telling, that when you had n plus 1 item, I had devised a strategy that how you can create a problem structure of the item and n. Okay, is it clear? From n plus 1 size problem, I have created a problem of the size n. And now I know that I have an algorithm. I can apply that algorithm to find out the optimal tree. Let's assume that I come up with the optimal tree as a T0. But your task was to create the optimal tree from Tn plus 1 item. So I'm telling, hold on. Into this particular tree, I wanted to create this tree for this n plus 1 item. So I would use this tree. And I would expand the node that I have added, z which I was added. I would delete that node and I would put here x and y. Okay, at the place where there was a z, I would put x and y. Okay, now this is a new tree. Okay, now this is a new tree where z is not there, and X and Y are there, I am telling that this tree, let me call it T1. Call it T1. This is an optimal tree. Any problem in that? Okay. The problem is this, that okay, I just told you that what is the procedure to create this particular tree. I have not proved that this is a optimal tree. Okay, once again, let me give you the big idea. I think I would take 5 more minutes, so it would be very clear. I would take 5 minutes. Okay, please give me 5 minutes. It is, we are at a very critical state. So I was telling that n plus 1 items I have. I created the instance of the having n item. With this item, I find out the tree that, let me call it T0. That is the optimal tree, because it's our assumption that the algorithm works for the size Tn minus for the Tn. Then use this particular tree. Use this particular tree to create T1. How? I am going to just expand Z. How I created this? Insert Z. I have inserted a new node Z by deleting X and Y. Now I am telling that this which I expanded it is a optimal tree. You can say where is the proof that this is optimal tree? Okay, so I am telling that I would do it by contradiction. I would do it by contradiction. What do I mean? I say that okay, you are not believing on my thing. Let's assume that there is another tree that is optimal, and this is a different tree. In that tree, where is the X and Y in this tree? There is an X and Y there at the bottom. Why? Because if they are not at the bottom, then I can exchange the X and Y at the bottom, and then it would be a further smaller tree, a smaller optimal tree. So definitely in this tree, X and Y are at the bottom. Otherwise, I can further do the optimization on that. In this T2, X and Y are going to be at the bottom. Make sense? Okay, if they are at the bottom in this particular tree, so I am telling that now I am going to replace this with a new node that is called Z. So new node with the Z by removing them and putting their summation over here. So this is a new tree. Let me call it T3. Okay, T3. This is a new tree. How many items are there? N items are there. How many N items are there? N items are there. So is it an optimal tree? Is it an optimal tree? Yes, it is also going to be the optimal tree. Okay, because if this was an optimal tree, then this is also going to be the optimal tree. Let us see that how we are going to utilize this particular fact. So here I am going to tell you, C as the size of C is n, so we can get an optimal tree T0 using the algorithm, expand the Z in T0 to get T1, as we called that. From C dash we created T0, and from this T0 we created T1. Okay, with T1 for the C. T1 is optimal. Why? How come? So we are going to prove this by a contradiction. We are assuming we know one thing, that number of bit required for the T1 is equal to number of bit required in this new tree is going to be number of bit required in T0, because from T0 we had created the T1, and what we have did that Z we have expanded. So into the Z, if we have added two more node, one X and Y, so into the T1, how many bits are required into the T1? Because these two things are added, so it would be X dot F plus Y dot F. Okay, is it clear? Okay, this is the standard thing. Because we have extended, so number of bit would be required more, so few more bits would be required for that. T2 is optimal tree instead of T1. Okay, let's assume that into the contradiction we are thinking that okay, T1 is not optimal, but T2 is optimal. There is some other tree. In that tree we have just talked about, into the T2 tree, our X and Y are going to be at the bottom. They must be on the bottom, otherwise I can further reduce it. So if they are at the bottom, I created a new tree 3 3 where I have actually combined them. Okay, okay. Let it become T3. So I have created a new tree T3 as I told you. Okay, how many bits are required into the T3? How many bits are required into the T3? Okay, it is number of bits required into the T2 minus x dot f minus y dot f, because into the T2 into the into the T2 that was supposed to be optimal. I have actually combined these two things and make a new node z. So b T2 minus x dot f minus y dot f. Okay. So so here I am telling that b T2, instead I am going to put b T1. Can I replace this? Okay, because T2, due to our assumption that T2 is optimal, this particular tree is optimal. Okay, so if I put our tree, this is our tree, which is not optimal, then the number of bits required are going to increase. Okay, this is the we are assuming that this is optimal. Our tree is not optimal. So if I put b of our tree, it is going to increase. It is going to increase. If it is going to increase, this value b T1 minus Tf2, this is the formula b T1. We can use this formula to say that it is bt0. This is going to be the value of bt0. What does it mean? That bt3 is actually less than bt0. Okay, but bt0 means this T3 is going to be more optimal tree. Is it possible? Because we have created, our assumption was this, that that my algorithm is going to give me the optimal tree from then T3 is going to have the lesser number of require lesser number of bits. Means T3 is optimal. This is not possible because my algorithms gives me the smaller thing. How come you can come up with anything that is better than my algorithm? My algorithm gives what? My algorithm gives have given me T0. My algorithm has given me T0. My algorithm has given me T0. We assume that T0 is optimal. How come you come up any other thing of the same size that is optimal? It is a contradiction. Means our assumption is wrong. What is the assumption? That T1 is not optimal and anything else is optimal. So this is the proof that uh, that this is a proof that T1 is optimal. Okay. So this is the proof that the algorithm that the tree that we are going to come up with this algorithm is going to be optimal. This is what the proof is. So please go back to the book and once try to see that also. If you have any more question, I can answer here. Thank you very much. That's all for today.